everyone, I am going to do, I don't know if it's going to be a vlog or a sit-down video. It's going to depend on how much I can actually film at my appointment. But I am going to make this video about my biofeedback experience. I've had trouble with IBS-like symptoms. I've had doctors suggest that they think I have IBS. I'm not sure if there's actual tests to know if you do have it or if a doctor just suggests that's the issue. But I've had issues like that pretty much since I was like, I don't know, middle school, maybe like 13. And nothing I've ever done has ever worked. Even after I did like allergy testing and stuff, I haven't had much success when it comes to any digestive health. And so I'm throwing in the towel and trying alternative medicine treatment type things. I'm not against it at all. I'm actually usually for it. I'm just, for some reason, I don't know why, it's never really like came to mind that that's something that could maybe help me. So the guy that I'm going to today does biofeedback and some other kind of like supplement stuff. I'm not exactly even sure what he's going to do to me. He just told me that the appointment's going to be an hour and a half. I know that, so it's going to be long. Yeah, and he said that he has a lot of patients with similar IBS symptoms and has a lot of patients who see a lot of improvement. So I am going to head to my appointment now and I will tell you how it goes. Maybe film a little bit in there. I'm not sure how that works. I am back in my usual spot. Don't mind that I need to do laundry. I have no excuse. I just am not, I'm not doing it. So don't mind that. I'm sorry that this has turned into another talking video. I didn't want it to be, but I didn't realize how small the doctor's office was going to be. And it was awkward to just film. But I will be going back for a few more follow-up appointments. And the guy actually does seem really nice. So maybe the next time I can film a little bit to kind of just show what it looks like. Because it is really interesting. Anyways, I finished a few days ago. The lighting has been terrible. And I've just been waiting for it to be better. And it's still dreary, but I've given up. So if the lighting's terrible, I apologize. This is just what we have. Apparently spring's never coming. But anyway, so I got my biofeedback scan done. And just a little bit of background of why I was getting that done is because I have, supposedly, I have IBS, so that's irritable bowel syndrome C. So that is where you can't go to the bathroom, like hardly ever. So I mean, that sounds a lot nicer than the more typical kind of IBS where you are stuck in the bathroom all the time. But it's not, because it's super uncomfortable. I have spent like probably since about 12 or 13, since I was about 12 or 13, feeling nauseous and sick most of the time. And it's because of all of this stuff. Yeah, and it makes me not nasty, but like when it's really bad, when it's flaring up super bad, I'm a pretty naturally skinny person. So when it flares up, I look like I'm pregnant and it's terrible. Anyways, so I don't actually fully understand what biofeedback is. Like, I don't really understand the science of it. So you need to do your own research. I don't want to try to educate you on something that I don't really understand. As far as I know, it in theory, I don't even know if it's like proven, but it in theory is a way of testing the function of every single like organ you have in your whole entire body and finding out which organs you have that are currently under functioning, and then you can pinpoint why they are under functioning, and you can be prescribed either referred to a doctor and prescribed medications, or the biofeedback guy, he's like a holistic practitioner, can prescribe you herbs and stuff to make those under functioning organs go back up to where they should be. So that's kind of the deal. And the reason that I decided to go that route is because I've spent the past like 10 years since I've been an adult paying myself to go to doctors to find out what's wrong with me, because I refuse to believe that there's nothing that anyone can do for me being sick all the time. And every doctor I've been to has either said, you have IBS, sorry, there's nothing you can really do about that, you just get to be sick for the rest of your life. You can take Miralax if you want every day to make sure that you don't get so bad to where you're like bloated and feeling terrible all the time. And I did do that for like a year. But then, I don't know, I'm kind of a hippie when it comes to stuff. And I just got uncomfortable with having to rely on a medication, like a chemical, every day for the rest of my life. And I know there are plenty of people who do need that if it's like life-threatening, but for me it was not life-threatening, and so I figured it was time to explore other options. So that's what we did, and I actually feel really good about it. So here, I shouldn't have folded these papers, they look all janky now, but these are my results. I don't remember what all of these are, but anyways, each column right here, each column is a different organ that he scanned, and anything that's yellow is how much stress is on that particular organ. Sorry, there's like a scuffle downstairs with my kids. They're not alone. But anyways, each yellow part is the stress that is on your particular organ, and all organs have some stress because you're just living and they're dealing with things. So like that, normal. But like that is a problem. That's not okay. That's super underfunctioning. So I can't remember which one is which, but this is kind of what you'll get if you do get biofeedback. You'll get a little printout of what's going on. I should have written on it. I didn't. Next time I will. But pretty much what we found is obviously my stomach is a disaster. So like, this is kind of gross to talk about, but it's life. So like, as far as like my bowels go, lower digestive tract, I have super low good gut bacteria and super high bad gut bacteria. So things are just not being processed and being digested the way that they should be. And that's weird because I do take probiotics. But apparently it's not good enough, so we need other things. And then my stomach also, I have too high of stomach acid. But there's a catch. It's because I have low stomach acid. So my bile ducts, I believe, they're not producing stomach acid and bile like they should. But then what happens is once it gets too low and I start getting really sick, then they overcompensate and make a ton. And that's what makes me sick to my stomach, and I have really bad heartburn and like acid reflux a lot as well. So that's just a disaster. We also found out that my hormones are a mess, which I knew. My hormones have always been a mess. I'm pretty sure my whole life. That's why we had to go through fertility stuff to have Aria. But they're back to being a mess. Everything's super just low, like almost like a menopausal person, even though I'm not in menopause. So, but that might be why they were saying that that's probably why I have like such bad anxiety a lot of the time, because no offense to anyone going through menopause, but when you go through menopause, it makes you a little crazy. And I am there with you right now, so we're gonna get that fixed up. We also found out that my pancreas is underfunctioning. One of those really bad ones was my pancreas. But it's not like diabetes. It's the opposite. And I've known that I have always been hypoglycemic. Like I have to eat if I'm gonna do anything like physical, or else I will get sick and pass out. But apparently that's the source of all of my fatigue. So how it works, I guess, this is very layman's term because I don't know any of this stuff. But what he said is how it works is everyone starts their day with low blood sugar because you haven't eaten. And as you eat and the day progresses, it should slowly at a nice like rate to go up. And that also keeps your energy levels up. And then at night it goes back down, so you get kind of sleepy and you go back to sleep. And you go to sleep. But for me, I'm not having that peak in the afternoon. I'm just flat all day long. And that's why I've had such bad fatigue for, I don't know, years. No matter what I do. But then it's true what he said, because he was asking me if this is how I feel. I also have insomnia, so I have fatigue all day long, and you'd think that you would just be like dying to go to bed. But then once nighttime rolls around, I'm not tired anymore, and that's because I'm having that peak of blood sugar at the wrong time of day. So instead of the afternoon, to keep me going all day, I'm having it at like 5 to 6 o'clock at night. Then I have all my afternoon energy at bedtime, and I stay up super, super late. So we're gonna fix that as well. We're just fixing everything. And then the kicker of it all is, and I have no idea how he found this out through the biofeedback scanning, to be honest. Apparently I have a parasite in my gut as well. And it's one that you can't really get in the United States. Like, never say never, I guess, but most likely not. And he asked me if I've ever been out of the country. And as of right now, I've only ever been to South America. And this is definitely a parasite that you can get in South America. Great. So, yeah, I picked up a parasite that lives in my stomach, but it's not the good kind of parasite, like a tapeworm that makes you really skinny. It's one that makes you just sick, and it makes you not be able to process your food correctly, and it makes you bloated and just feel terrible, which is totally how I felt for so long. And come to find out, well, I mean, not come to find out, but he was asking when the last time I went out of the country was, and because I've been having kids and stuff, I haven't been out of the country since my honeymoon 8 years ago. So I have had this stupid parasite for 8 years. And that's not to say that I don't have IBS. I do definitely have IBS because I've had those symptoms way before I ever even went out of the country and picked up this parasite. But it's gotten worse since then, and that's why it's gotten worse. And he said that the reason I was able to harbor this parasite is because of my IBS, because my stomach acid levels are not where they should be, and my gut health, my intestinal tract levels aren't where they should be as well, because people are constantly being exposed to parasites. If you think you're not, you are. But everyone's being exposed to parasites, but if you have the levels of what you should have in your body just fights it off usually, and it goes away. But whereas mine are not correct, it makes it a hospitable environment for them to propagate instead of die. Yay! So, anyways, the end of that is I got a long list of things that I need to do. La-ti-da. A whole bunch of rules on what you can and cannot do. I can't drink coffee right now, and it's really sad. I don't know why my nose is running. Anyway, so these are all the things I have to take. I have to take apple cider vinegar to help with my digestion and stomach acid levels. We have this friend, which just helps with hormone balance. We have another one for digestion. This one stinks. It makes me gag every time I swallow the pill. Like, it comes out of the capsule. It's terrible. We have Chase Tree, which also helps with hormones. I'm on a lot of stuff for hormones. And just calcium, magnesium, helps with digestion and stomach acid problems. And then this ominous looking friend right here, ooh, there, is what kills parasites. So that's what I'm on currently, and I'm going to take those things for the next 2 months, and then I have to go back in and get scanned again and see how things have leveled out, see if we need to change some of the supplements that I'm on or stay on them longer, or if I'm just fixed for the time being. Because I guess everyone's kind of out of whack, so he recommends you come in like once a year just to get a checkup, but you do you. I mean, you don't have to. But I'm super glad I came in. This is the first doctor's appointment I've had in like 10 years where I've actually felt like maybe I could not feel sick for once in my life, or maybe even feel like less sick, which would still be great. So I feel good about my experience. I was really skeptical at first. I mean, of course, it's only been a few days, so I don't know how well the supplements are going to work. So I guess it could in the end all be nothing, but like all just not worth it. I'm still happy to, I mean, worst case scenario, we're going to kill some parasites. So I don't think I'm out anything by taking a chance on doing so. That is my biofeedback experience thus far. I will check in with you guys again after I get rescanned in 2 months and update on how things went, and hopefully it goes well. Fingers crossed. I don't like being sick. I'm sick of being sick, so everyone put out positive thoughts and energies, whatever, for me, so I can be a normal functioning human again for once in my life. And I will see you next time.